Good morning everyone, my name is Michelle. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. It's Wednesday morning, the 17th of April. And in this video, I want to directly follow on from yesterday's video where I talked about the tip that came in at 9:42. We heard that the dispatcher communicated that on the day Sebastian disappeared to the people who were searching for him on the ground. So that's what I talked about yesterday. This is a direct follow-on. I've got some interesting questions that investigators who were guests on the Surviving the Survivor channel last night. Very interesting answers to some very interesting questions that are directly related to what we've been talking about on this channel. So that's what we're going to do. We're also going to look at cameras. Let's go. Okay, so this is Surviving the Survivor. So there was three guests on. Rob D'Amico, who is an investigative consultant, ex-FBI, done a lot of stuff in his life. And then we've got Heather Cohen and Tracy Ellis, who are working with Seth. They are an investigative company, I think you would say. Heather is directly on the ground. And she's just started working on the case on behalf of Seth Rogers, Sebastian's dad. I'm going to go through three questions that they were asked and that they answered. Got this though first, found this in a Sebastian Rogers Facebook group. Chris Proudfoot passed a polygraph administered by TBI today. Seth Rogers' polygraph administered by Nancy Grace was inconclusive. This is an anonymous member, so I can't follow this up. If anybody's got any information on this, it wasn't discussed in the Surviving the Survivor live stream. But if anybody's got any information about where that came from, then pop it in the comments. Thank you so much. Seth was in the chat of the Surviving the Survivor live stream and he said, I don't have any new information currently. So we're still working off the information that we've got today. They talk quite a lot about the shoes. The shoes. Why did he leave barefooted? Look, this is my number one comment. Like every other comment, when I talk about the potential that Sebastian might have run away, people say he wouldn't have run away barefoot. Because his parents, both Katie and Seth, have said that he only has 3 pairs of shoes and that Katie gets rid of old shoes. You know, when he outgrows a pair or they get scruffy, she gets rid of them, puts them in the trash. Right, well, it's Sebastian's chore to take the trash out. And we know he's got a history of having stuff taken off him. The snake, his pet snake, he got taken off him. You know, on one occasion, because he'd not cleaned his room, you know, in the mind of Chris Proudfoot, Sebastian's stepdad, then he put a load of stuff in a trash bag and threw them out. So he's conscious that if he doesn't look after stuff, it gets thrown away. What if he had a favourite old pair of shoes that he saw in the trash? What are the chances that he might have taken those shoes out and hidden them? Favourite pair of shoes. I'd probably have done that. If my mother had thrown away my favourite item, I'd have just gone and got them back out the trash, would you? I wouldn't accept things like that. I was a very opinionated, shall we say, 15-year-old. But I wouldn't have stood for that. I'd have just got all the stuff back out when my parents weren't looking, like in the night time. And we know Sebastian was up in the night time, he used to go and get snacks. They don't really know what he was doing in the night time. We know from the dispatch audio that he wandered about the neighbourhood. Parents don't seem to know that either. But who knows everything that their 15-year-old does? If you think, if you've got a teenager or if you've had a teenager, do you know everything that your 15-year-old is getting up to? If you say yes, I've got a problem with you because your 15-year-old is not being allowed to grow up, make their own mistakes. Anyhow, I think Sebastian may have had shoes. I think he may have had a pair of shoes that no one was aware of. But that's just my opinion. All right, let's get to these questions then. On the dispatch recording, law enforcement says Sebastian would go back to his old school when he got in trouble. Was the wooded area on the route to the old school searched? Well, we know that a 5-mile radius was searched. 5-mile radius looks like this. These are other radiuses. This is a 5-mile radius. Heather answered this question. And by the way, the dispatch audio didn't say he would go back to his old school, but that he wanted to go back to his old school. Maybe he liked it better. Parents don't believe he was being bullied at Beach High School, which is very close to the Proudfoot's home. This is Beach High School here. It's cut off this screenshot, but it's 0.7 miles away from his home. But he wanted to go back to White House School, which is 8.5 miles north if you go by the road. But it'd be quicker if you just went a direct route through the woods. And for the last 2 days, I've been speculating, after I heard that was mentioned on the dispatch audio, I wanted to explore that potential theory. So this investigator, Heather, says that yes, that wooded area was searched. I hope it was searched all the way up to and including White House. But I'd search it again, personally, with a fine-tooth comb. But if it's been comprehensively searched, if it really has, every inch of it has been searched, then we can put that theory to bed, can't we? Can we confirm that there was no scent trail detective of him leaving the house that morning? Well, Heather said there was a scent trail. So now we've got Seth Rogers, who she's working for, said there was a scent trail, then said there wasn't. Law enforcement said there wasn't, even though on the dispatch audio, Max, the German Shepherd, did get a scent. We've got Chris Proudfoot, who told Narc Divers that several dogs, including Max, the German Shepherd, a bloodhound, and a blue-tick coonhound, all followed the same trail. The bloodhound and the coonhound went from the house. Chris told Narc Divers the direction to the construction site. So now we've got Heather, working for Seth, said she believes there was a scent trail. Make it all make sense, guys. Make it all make sense. All right, question about the cameras. Why did no cameras catch Sebastian Sunday night, Monday morning, if he left the house and or someone lured him? Did all neighbourhood Ring cameras go down at the same time? Now, the answer to this, the guy answered and said, look, unless you've got a really, really good camera that, you know, when it's dark, it's got like infrared, then you're not going to pick someone up in the dark. Like, unless you're dead close to it. Or, you know, it's illuminated really well. So, he probably was caught on cameras, but they weren't sufficiently good cameras to be able to actually show anything other than darkness. And remember, there's no street lights. Look, these are $500,000 houses, plus I'd be campaigning for street lights. I wouldn't buy a $500,000 house and then have to provide my own street lights. I don't know, that's just me. People go nuts, absolutely nuts in this country. If the street lights aren't good, they go nuts. They start ringing people, the council, the local news. Oh, you better believe it. Anyhow, it's going to be dark even at the front, unless you've got like little spotlights or floodlights or whatever. We know the Proudfoots have floodlights on if you're looking at the house from the road on the left-hand side where the two garages are, then they've got floodlights. But if Sebastian went out the other way, if he turned right, so it would be left out of his front door, but right as you were looking at the house. And I can't put the house on the screen because I got my video taken down. All right, we're going to play the dispatch audio. We're going to look on the map where the cameras were on Kelling. I'm particularly interested in this area. Why? Because although someone could slip past on foot, go through Kelling, and somebody said, oh, but there's fences. Most of these houses don't have fences. Sebastian's does, but most of them don't. And even if they do, they're only like 3-foot fences. Like, you could easily hop over one. Even I, an old person, could hop over a 3-foot fence. However, if you're in a vehicle, you can't get out. Because if you go up the top here, that's still construction. All that is construction. It's just all clay. It looks like there's a road on Google Maps, but there isn't. There will be eventually, but all that's still construction. So the only way out of Sebastian's neighbourhood is here. So the houses here would have captured Chris driving by if he'd come home in the middle of the night to hide Sebastian's body, or Katie going by in the middle of the night. Chances are they would have been caught because these houses are close to the road. So the chances are, especially, a vehicle that's going to have lights on, innit? All right. So we'll play the dispatch audio, and we're going to start at 8:35, which is when they were starting their house-to-house search. We're going to find them on the map, and then we're going to cross them off. All right, let's go.
Mounted patrol coming up there, and Joe's sending some more cars if we can start from the beginning with the original house and set up a new plan up there. Yeah, boy, that's what we're doing now, sir. Thank you. One hour, yes, we were advised that he's found the child under his son's car, which is across the street, 2 doors up. So be sure to search under cars and under things. Who do you want to go with this other canine search and rescue? I just talked to the GC, the construction back here. He's going to start getting the word out to all his crews that are out here working. Everybody, pushing 94 to 1,000, so we can get a game plan and reconvene. Hey, Burgett, can you put a drone right on top of this trash can, this dumpster? See if there's anything in it. 188. 184 is going to send you a picture. You send a code red for 1008 Stafford. Code red was sent out at 0745 this morning. Super. It was done pretty good. Can we retry that, please? 10-4, will do. 12188. Yes, sir. Can you come to 1008, please? 12 to any units that are going to be assisting with 1008. Please come to 1008 Stafford now, please. So at the beginning of Kelly Lane 1000. We're going to work our way north of Kelly Lane. That's fine. I'll get these 2 houses right here, and we'll take the right side. The white Ford truck, that's the Hendersonville officer's house that's with me. Or, no, that house hasn't been checked. The next house up with the see the white Ford in the driveway. We will get a neighborhood Facebook page. Post was made. 1023 check. No motion on camera.
10:23, no motion on camera. So 10:23 Kellen will be up here. There's no motion on that camera. Okay.
Unit from Stanford. There's an additional caller calling that was in his hand, stating she called someone that made the description on Hogan's Branch. There was sandy blonde hair with a tag wrapped around his head. Chest stated he had on a reflective jacket. Approximately 2 hours ago.
That was the tip that I talked about yesterday. People said that they heard, and it actually says on the subtitles that Jessica Danielle, who put this all together, that it was a person in a van, not the child in the van, on Hogan's Branch Road. But somebody did tell me that that tip had been cleared. So whichever, it's believed that that tip was actually cleared. So we can cross that off. I think we can cross that off.
3-9. 139 Willow Bend has a camera, but nobody's answering the door.
139 Willow Bend has a camera, but no one's answering the door. So that's no good to us.
He had some ties at White House High School, and every time he got in trouble, he wanted to go back to White House, so I notified White House PD, and they're notifying this, sir.
Okay, so that's what I talked about yesterday. The PI says that has been cleared. However, I would like to check those woods again.
Okay. This way, I think the camera's correct. It's simple. Nobody's answering, nobody's home. Anyway, for that address, please run a registration check on 268. So. Factory 2012 BMW 750 black and color, registered.
Presumably they cleared this BMW for whatever reason they wanted to check it.
Address. Confirm NSR. Great, I'm going to see if you can find any information. Sure, we can look up on phone or something. We would appreciate it.
I don't know whether it's relating to a sex offender. It's something that the PIs are looking into anyway. I'm sure that the cops have done it, like the SOs in the area, which there are some.
When you check your residence, please give me the numeric and the numbers that have checked it, and whether or not you made contact with anybody. Made contact with 1000 Killing Lane. He checked all the cameras, nothing was on.
Okay, so that's potentially the most important house of them all, which is this one. So no motion on his cameras. So that house is very close to the road, and if Katie Proudfoot had passed by in the middle of the night, or Chris had come in the middle of the night, I'm sure that that house would have caught them. But cameras, no motion on it.
No answer. 102 or 103 Killing.
So those are important, but there was no answer. I assume that they went back and checked those anyway, but still. So we've got 103 question mark, 102 question mark. But again, those cameras would have picked people up driving by.
105 answer, hasn't seen nothing on ring doorbell.
Alright, so ring doorbell at 105. Where's that? 105. So this is, again, an important house. That's 105, so no one detected on 105 there. Okay.
You're saying 102, is it 1002? 1002, I'm sorry. Did you ask if he had any light purple hoodie? I don't have to go into the just on down the feet, there's a light purple hoodie with home something like that. Mom doesn't advise us to call them. Yeah. They were at Dragon Square last night. Just going. Do you have a unit go there to make sure that he hasn't returned there? 1015 had ring cameras, but didn't pick up anything.
Okay, 1015 has ring cameras. Didn't pick up anything. 1015. So if Sebastian had come out of his house and gone directly there and got picked up by a ring camera, but again, how good is that camera? But we can cross that off. So that's 1015. Can cross that off, which is there. Okay.
17, Emersonville, excuse me. 1000 contact, hadn't seen anything, nothing on ring doorbell.
I didn't catch that.
1012, 7 lane through 20. 1012, go through those hours. The lady at 1032, Kevin, runs the neighborhood book page, and she updating it to request people to look in the crawl spaces and hidden areas. At one time, I was going around the door, happened to check the crawl space. I would have to check my list, but if it wasn't locked from the outside, it was checked. 1018 Stafford. They are reviewing their camera footage right now.
Okay, 1018. I do remember it comes back and they said there was nothing on it, but 1018 is this one. Nothing on that camera.
18 contact and the cameras checked. That's fine. 184 low volume. They got cameras checked. People, what's up, 18? I'll be out at St. John Missionary, 285. Resident at 1028 Keller Lane states that he just saw a kid with a black shirt, black shorts, and a phone in his hand coming across the construction. When he made contact with this gentleman, the subject went straight back to the woods at the top of Keller Lane. He just talked to him. He's still in handcuffs. Well, thank you. Told all units, when you're done with your assignment, please come back to 1008 Stafford. 2023, 24, 18, and 16 Stafford. Ring cameras, nothing's been called.
So 23 and 24. So 23. and 24. So 24's there. 23, I think we've already got that one, but there. Okay, they've got cameras. Nothing on them.
18 and 16, Stafford, over cameras.
Okay, 18 and 16. So that one and that one. I think we've already got 18, but that one and that one.
Operations had started at Willow Dam Drive, St. John Drive, just a still running along where the dumpsters and both toothbrushes and everything also. Don't make it work. 10-4, are you going back to Stafford Court? Still on search, but general area. 10-26. Kevin Wayne, no contact. 10-28, made contact, nothing on their cameras. And 10-30, contact, nothing on their camera.
So 28 and 30, nothing on their cameras. So we're getting right up the top now. So with these two. This is a little bit non-precise, but can you see that practically the whole of Kellen had cameras? They didn't make contact with some. The most important ones for me are these. So presumably they went back and checked those. However, remember what the guy on Surviving the Survivor said, that if these cameras aren't good, not got good infrared, you're not going to be able to see someone unless they're dead close or the area's really illuminated, and it isn't. Well, they've got the Secret Service involved with the tech, but if the pixels aren't there, you can't brighten or sharpen anything that isn't there. But I think if he came out of his house this way and went up here, he could have slipped through any one of these without being caught on the camera. I'll stand by that. And then up to this construction area at the back here. And then he's off, he's away. I'll stand by that. Because we don't know what the quality of the cameras are. But there was lots of cameras on Kellen. So vehicles, however, way more likely to pick up a vehicle who's out and about in the night that's dodgy. And again, these are the most important, because these are the ones that will capture a vehicle up to no good coming out of Stafford Court. Anyhow, I could carry on, but I'm not, because this video is already very long. So I bid you farewell. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.